Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Tonight, I want to cover a topic that came to me in a question from a viewer. They asked me, do I think the gun and ammo manufacturers are screwing the gun community right now? And my answer to that question is going to be a resounding, definitely. Yes, they are. They're screwing us big time. But not in the way you're thinking. I can tell from your question, you're meaning, are they screwing us on prices? Are they slowing down manufacturing? Are they holding back products, to manipulate prices, etc., and availability? No, they're not doing any of that. If they could pump out enough guns right now to fill every order, they would. They would love that. It'd be like their Christmas. They'd make a ton of money right now. Same thing with ammo manufacturers. If they could pump out enough ammo to fill all the orders, they'd be thrilled. But because of coronavirus and shortages of materials, etc., things are slim right now. Pickings are slim. So they're missing out on a lot of profit they could make. So they're not screwing us that way. They're not intentionally holding back product or manipulating prices, etc. They are passing along some extra prices they get, but they're not screwing us that way. They're screwing us the way they always screw us. You have to remember, gun manufacturers, ammo manufacturers, gun organizations, and the talking heads that feed off of all of those things, they're a business. And what's good for business is not necessarily what's good for the community. In this case, what's good for the gun industry is not what's good for the gun community. That's almost always the case. In fact, our interests usually run contrary to each other. Like in most businesses, that's capitalism. For the gun community, what would be great for us is if the Supreme Court came out and said, no more anti-gun laws, period. None of them. None of them are, government can't enforce anything about guns, period, ever again. That'd be great for the gun community. That would be awesome. That would be our grand victory. But who would it be bad for? Well, it'd be really bad for gun manufacturers. Because people wouldn't be like, well, I got to run out and buy 10 of those guns now because I'm never going to get them again. They'd be like, I can get that anytime. Why rush? And it wouldn't be good for ammo manufacturers because people aren't going to be like, I got to hoard up on a million rounds of ammo because they're going to cancel it. I ain't going to be able to get it anymore. They wouldn't have that. They wouldn't have those big increases of sales. And gun groups like NRA, GOA, what do you think they're going to do if that happens? Are they going to say, yay, we won. You don't got to send us any money anymore. No, they're going to be like, oh my God, how are we going to get people to send us money? This is the only job I've ever had. I don't know what I'm going to do. So it's not good for them. And the talking heads on the internet, the gun channels that have put profit before progress when it comes to the Second Amendment, because they are doing what's best for the industry, they're going to hurt all the way around. I mean, they're like the bottom feeders. Whatever hurts the organizations and the manufacturers, etc., well, those little shit-eating bottom feeders are the ones that are going to suffer a lot, the most. They got they're working on the thinnest margins. So it hurts the community to do the things that are good for the gun manufacturers. It hurts the gun manufacturers when things that are good happen for the community. But that's just the nature of the beast. That's capitalism. That's the way it's always been, the way it'll always be. You have to find a happy medium between the interests of both. When it's a business. Because if you look at like the stock market even, companies want to save money. And if a company today sent out a letter to all of its stockholders saying, guess what? We just outsourced all of our labor to India. Our revenues are up 170%, and they're going to be up even more next year. Stock's going to go through the roof. Investors are going to want a piece of that. That's going to go up. That's great for the business. Is it good for the workers in this country? No, it's not good for our workers. It's not good for our country, period. It's good for India, but not us. And it's good for the industry, but not us. So they have to strike a balance to where they're giving away enough stuff overseas and consolidating enough money in one spot, but still having customers that can afford to buy their product. And that's normal business. Now, call me crazy. Even though I'm a fan of capitalism, I think some things are more important than business. And I think our constitutional rights are more important than business. I want to see what's good for the gun community done, not what's good for gun manufacturers. I want to see what's good done. I want to see what's good for us as citizens, and as far as our rights are concerned, the right thing being done. That's what I want to see for us. not what's good for gun groups, not things they can make money off of. They're not my main concern when it comes to this. My main concern is our constitutional rights. I am a constitutional advocate. I advocate for the First Amendment, Second Amendment, primarily those two, but all of them actually, but primarily those two. That's what I consider myself. I am not a Smith & Wesson advocate. I am not a Ruger advocate. I am not a NRA advocate, a GOA advocate, any of those things. My concerns are what's good for the gun community, not what's good for the gun industry. But the industry itself has to watch out for its interest. It wants there to be panic buying. It wants there to be these runs on the market. It wants people to always be a little unsure. It wants people to be a little afraid and a little bit angry. That makes it a lot more easy to manipulate you through marketing. So, of course, they're screwing us. It's what's good for business. The gun manufacturers are, they're screwing us. The NRA, been screwing us for decades. The talking heads on YouTube would sell you out for a nickel because they care about the business side of things. That's where they're making their money. The channels that are out to make money, they can't make it off of the normal side, just the doing what's best for the gun community. There's no money in that. The money's in the marketing. The money's in the selling products. And sometimes that product is fear and anger, but it's still selling products is where the money is. And that's what's good for the industry. And like I said, what's good for the industry is not what's good for us. Like I said, the NRA tried to maintain that balance for a long time of just giving enough of our rights away that they could still make a lot of money from us because we would still be wanting them to fight, but not giving too many away to where we turned on them. Of course, it didn't work out for them too well in the end. But that's the balance they're trying to maintain. And they're not looking out for what's best for us at all. They're looking out what's best for them and their bottom line. That's what a business does. That's what it has to do. We have to be educated consumers. And as the gun community, we have to realize that. We have to look at the talking heads and the manufacturers and the gun groups and say, my best interests isn't what drives you. It's being able to profit off the fight for those interests. That is your primary concern. Mostly the gun community, the gun manufacturers, and unfortunately the gun groups find that to be true for themselves. But it's not what's best for us, like I said. And yes, they are screwing us because that's the nature of the beast. You just have to accept it. You have to be wise to it. And you just have to tell yourself, I'm not falling for this shit. I know what's best for them is not what's best for me. And I know what's best for me is not what's best for them. And right now, I'm worried about what's best for me because the gun community as a whole and our constitutional rights are what's important. So that's what we should be fighting for. Those are the things we should care about. Those, not the bottom-feeding talking heads on YouTube, that they get their money from all the shit falling down from the gun manufacturers and the gun organizations and the gun ammo manufacturers, etc. So they're not being honest with you because they're supporting their bread and butter, which is the industry. I'm not worried about the industry so much. I'm worried about our rights as a community. And I wish more gun channels would start doing that. But apparently they don't because they are all tied via their pocketbooks to the industry. So just keep that in mind. Be an informed consumer because they are screwing us. The gun manufacturers, ammo manufacturers, gun rights organizations, and the bottom-feeding talking heads on YouTube that serve them. They're all screwing us because they're looking out for themselves and the money. All right, next I want to move on to, once again, what I have said many times is my favorite part of the show, gun talk. And today I want to answer another viewer question. A viewer sent me a question asking me about Rock Island Arms, saying, is it okay to buy them and are they any good? And at first I was like, what do you mean, are they okay to buy? But then I figured out what they meant is something I always do also is I get Rock Island Arms and Rock River Arms confused. Rock River bad, Rock Island Arms just fine. They're an import, but they're fine. Rock River, bad, bad, bad. Bad people. But to answer the other part of the question, of course, they are okay to buy. To answer the other part of the question, are they any good? They seem to be great. I haven't seen a whole lot of problem with them, and they're reasonably priced. Now, I have seen some issues that seem to be fairly common with them. I've seen some things like extractors break. Small parts, a lot of parts that sometimes I think are mem that shouldn't be. I've seen barrel bushings break on them. I think those are the weak points on a lot of lower cost guns where they save a lot of money is on the little pieces. It's a lot more money to manufacture a little piece, believe it or not, than a big piece. So they save a little money on those pieces. And sometimes they fail. Not frequently, but sometimes they do. Here's the good thing, though. These guns are not that expensive, the Rock Island Armories. I mean, where else are you going to get a double stack 2011 10mm for under $750? Not a whole lot of options for that. So even if you do buy one of those, and then you're like, I'm worried about the extractor and the barrel bushing, get online, buy yourself an EGW barrel bushing or aftermarket extractor. Spend like $30 on both, and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about them little parts because you've replaced them with better parts. In fact, I've seen some people replace them. One of my viewers replaced a bunch of his parts on his with stainless parts to give it kind of that nightmare look. And I don't mean it looks like a nightmare. I'm not like, oh, it looks like a nightmare. I mean, it looks like a SIG nightmare. Gave it that two-tone look. So sometimes changing out a few little parts can be something to do as a project that actually kind of improves the look of your gun, I think. So as far as are they good guns, as far as are they a good company that you can buy from, no problems with them as a company. As far as are they a good product, everything I have seen and all the experiences I've had lean towards the fact that they are very good products for the money. Now, keep in mind, it's for the money. They're not going to be your high-end 1911s, your high-end 2011s. They're going to suffer somewhere, but it doesn't have to be in basic performance. They might not be as high polished. They might not be as cool or have as many accessories. But as a basic gun, they seem to be solid. Like I said, except for the exception of a few little pieces that you can replace easily and cheaply. So if you want to try a Rock Island, go ahead. Like I said, where else are you going to find a double stack 10mm 2011 for under $750? I'm buying one probably tomorrow. Not for me, for one of my viewers. The Friend project. So I'll be buying one tomorrow and sending it off. And I think this is the third Rock Island Army product that I have bought for a viewer through the Friend project. So, and both of the other previous ones have had nothing but positive things to say about them. So Rock Island Armory company, good. Rock Island Armory as a product seems like it's great. Like I said, if you're extra cautious, out of an abundance of caution, you might want to replace a few parts like barrel bushings, extractors, some really inexpensive parts. But other than that, you get a fine product for what appears to be a fine price. All right, as usual, I want to end the show tonight with our viewer EDC of the day. And today's concealed carrier is Eric. And I guess it's just Eric because that's the only name he gave me. I think it might be Eric E. But as you can see, Eric is carrying his SIG P365 in what he says is a Wix inside waistband leather holster. I've never heard of them, but I'll take his word for it. Won't call him a liar there. Now, Eric shows us in the pictures here how this gun totally disappears just by draping his shirt over it. Even on a skinny-ass motherfucker like himself. Because he is skinny. He even says in the thing, I can't gain weight because of my metabolism. I'm like, I see your tie-dyed shirt, buddy. You can't gain weight because you're smoking all them goofballs in the back of your Volkswagen bus with your hippie friends. But I'm not here to judge. So, whatever. But, even on a skinny person, little guns like this 365, I get asked about this gun all the time. And I'm like, it's such a great carry gun. I'm not personally interested in it because I don't mind carrying big guns, so I don't care for print. But some people do, and these guns are great for that. Looks like a great setup here, like I said. Disappears when he drops his shirt over it. So, awesome setup here. And another thing, though, I do want to say before we sign off here. If you're going to send me pictures of your crotch, please get your lotion and your towel out of the picture and wipe off the mirror, please. This was a little disturbing. But still wanted to show... Oh, and also, there is never an excuse for an adult to have an exposed box spring. FYI. I don't know how many times I got to tell that to people. But just wanted to show here one of the common carry guns today. I'm seeing quite a bit. The P365 seems to be very popular. And that's what Eric's carrying in his inside waistband. And he is the viewer EDC of the day. All right, that's our show for today. Before I go, I want to remind everyone that we are doing the Resident Evil Samurai Edge Grip giveaway over on my website to benefit the Pets and Vets Project. Go over there and check it out. You might want to register to win one. All the details are over there at tympistolproject.com. While you're there, also check out TYM Triple P. Maybe you're someone that needs to sign up for TYM Triple P. Times are hard right now. I would expect to see more people signing up. I don't want to, but I mean, I would love it if no one ever needed to sign up. But I expect that some people right now could use the help of the TYM Triple P program. So go over, check it out. Sign up if you think it could be right for you. Also, if you just think it's a good program and you want to be a supporter of the channel, I do not take advertising. I do not take sponsorship. I do not work deals with companies. I don't serve the industry. I serve the Constitution and I serve my viewers. I'm not one of the bottom feeders I was talking about earlier. I mean, I would be if I thought I'd be good at it, but I'm just not good at it. Plus, my knees are bad nowadays. I can't get down there. But just wondering, my people, I don't take any of that type of money. I just take, I run the programs we run through money from my viewers. So if you like what you see over there, go over to patreon.com/the Yankee Marshal. Become a patron of the channel. Sign up, maybe even be a member of the posse or a deputy. I would appreciate it if you do. We can always use it. And with that being said, I'll sign off today, as usual, by saying, as far as the state of the world is concerned, things ain't that bad. But they are what they are. But what they will be in the future, if we get a little smart in the head, stop paying attention to the fear mongers and the anger peddlers and the profiteers, and fight for what's right for the community, what things will be in the future is a lot better.